Hey ladies, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday. How you doing? As you know, this is your daily dose of truth. No fluff, no filters. Let's get into it. So I am seeing more and more women are coming forward in sharing their regrets. Not the regrets for staying at home and taking care of their home, taking care of their children, but the regret of having someone with full control over their finances. And when that said person left them, because they changed their mind, they no longer want to be in that partnership, they are left with absolutely nothing. There's a woman in the video. She is, I believe, about 50 years old, living in her car. And she was replying to a video that a woman posted, a stay at home mom posted. And she said, I'm a stay at home wife. And, people usually come for me and tell me that, oh, that could never be me. That could never be me. And you're right. That's why it's not you. She was, boasting about it and being very condescending. And the old lady said, hey, I was you. I really thought I was better than the single women out there who did not want to be stay at home moms or stay at home wives or girlfriends or whatever. I gave up my income and now I'm in my car. I'm living in my car with no income and her social security is like maybe $500 a month, and it's not even enough. I don't even think she's getting that yet, because I think you get that all the way in your 60s, right? So women have all of these, I would say, all of these other women that come out and explain, hey, if you're gonna do this, just go about it the right way. No one is telling you not to. But the problem is, a lot of women think that they're the exception. They really think that once they get picked, they are better than the single women, they are better than the next woman, and it could never be them. And it's really sad to see the pattern that they fall into. I don't know what it is. It's just women can see, even back then, how hard it was. They have the statistics, but they still fall in that same trap. And I just hope that, your eyes are open, because like, I think 37% of women who gets divorced, they just regret not, having their own income, because they end up worse financially compared to like 11% of men. The statistics are there. Everything is there for women to proceed with caution, because we're not telling you to give up on love. We're not telling you to not take care of your children. I thought about it. I thought, if I were to ever have a child, I want the first 5 years of that child's life, like, I'm not working. I want it to be just me and my child. Like, I don't want to work. I just want to take care of my child. And I realized I was thinking of the mindset of being a stay-at-home mom. And that's completely okay. But I never, ever was okay with asking a man for money to go buy pads when I need it. I wanted to have my own income regardless. So you can still have that beautiful dream. It's just proceed with caution. You know, that's all we're telling you, because it's rough out there, especially in this economy. You don't want to do that. Anyways, let me stop rambling. Let's go ahead and move on into the clip.
I think stay-at-home mothers deserve incomes, more appreciation. They deserve time off without having to ask their husband, if can you take care of the kids this weekend? If you aren't getting paid, and if you aren't with someone that is able to take care of you financially, and that includes you as an individual, not just your household, taking care of you as an individual, paying you super, paying you a wage. Trad wives, though, are different from stay-at-home mothers. Stay-at-home mothers are women who have decided to exit the workforce, that is still with risk. The trad wife is staying at home with the kids, but also doing all of the domestic labor and all the tasks, is working continuously. To say that it's fulfilling and that we should support women in glamorizing the idea of being a stay-at-home mother and a trad wife without compensation is damaging to women and damaging to women's independence financially, especially. People get really offended and up in arms, and I have a theory as to why.
Don't be fooled. This man was very intentional about the wording he chose here. On the very first slide, he says a stay-at-home wife will save you $140,000 a year. And he's speaking to men. He's reminding them that if they can get their wife to leave the workforce and stay home with children, they can save money. Because what often happens when a woman stays at home and parents children full time is that she loses access to her financial freedom. She loses access to her career and future earning potentials. She no longer has the retirement account she would have had. She loses out financially, and he gains. Men men gain when they have a partner who stays at home. And so he is speaking to men. He has tried to disguise this as some empowering message to stay-at-home moms, reminding them that they're so important, and they are. Here's the thing. I support any parent who wants to stay at home with their children, but it does not come without risk. And it's very important to remember that there is value in what that person does. There's value in that work, and they should be compensated for that work. Money should be going into their retirement account. Money should be going into their bank account. They should be compensated for that work because it is incredibly valuable. But instead, he is saying, hey, dads, if you can get your wife to stay at home, you can keep that money. It's better for you financially to have a wife who stays at home. And he was strategic. He said stay-at-home wife, and then he pretends to be talking to parents on the next slide. But we all know who he's talking about. He's talking about men saving money and women staying at home and taking on that unpaid labor herself.
Where are all my stay-at-home moms that don't want to be a stay-at-home mom anymore? That's me. I think the worst feeling about being a stay-at-home mom is that you have to depend on man to finance your life. I think that's the worst part. Like, I hate having to ask for stuff. Like, I want to be able just to go and just do what I want, buy what I want without permission. Like, I want to be able to finance my own lifestyle. And I've come to that conclusion after years of being a stay-at-home mom. This is not the life for me. I don't like this. I love being with my kids, but I don't love the lifestyle. I really don't. Like, you really, if you're gonna be a stay-at-home mom, that man need to be a millionaire. He need to be paid, okay? Like, he just give you a card and you get the swipe. No, just do whatever you want. I'm not saying like spend crazy, you know, like, but if you want to get up and go buy you some shoes, you can go buy you some shoes without questions asked, you know. But for the stay-at-home moms like me, who the nigga, he average, like, he, you know, he just paying just the bills and shit, and, you know, that's pretty much it. Don't do it. Keep your job. Keep your job, sis. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So, I'm totally just asking for a friend. Is it normal in a marriage for the stay-at-home mom to have to ask for money? Like, it's like anytime she needs anything at all, she has to ask for money. Is that normal in like a 12-year marriage? Is it normal to like be made sure that you're like never have anything extra? Just like I said, I'm just asking for a friend. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts so I can share them with her. Is it normal in a marriage for the stay-at-home mom to have to ask for money? Like, anytime she needs anything at all, she has to ask for money in like a 12-year marriage to like be made sure that you never have anything extra.
Is it normal that your partner goes out of his way to give you just enough money to take care of tasks and he ensures that you don't have a penny extra? No. But is it normal that a partner who is trying to financially abuse you behave this way? Absolutely it is. Not every man that wants to be the provider and pay every bill in the household wants to do it for good reasons. Sometimes they know that it's the best way to be able to control you. They want you to be in a situation where you cannot afford to leave. Where would you live? What would you do for money? How would you take care of the kids? What would you eat? How will you make it without them? Oh, you're the one doing all the cooking and the cleaning and the child rearing and the laundry, so he doesn't have to hire a maid or a chef or a nanny or a tutor. He's the one who's making the money. So if the relationship ever falls apart, he's going to say that it's his money, that that's
his house, his car, his 401k, his savings account. And some men take the money that you've helped them make to start all over with a brand new wife and brand new kids. I said it before, but I'll say it again. Men always consider their finances, so women have to always consider theirs as well. You don't want your entire future to be dependent upon whether a man still likes you in 10, 20, or 30 years. You may have to consider getting a job so that you can have your own money to ensure that no matter how that man feels in the future, that you'll always be taken care of. Because if he's stingy while he's married to you and in love with you, imagine a man who wants to leave you.
For the stay-at-home mom to have to ask for money.
So no, I don't think it's normal. Now, to be fair, I think it largely depends on the relationship you have. I've heard it from several different couples that will, for instance, one of them will take over the finances is because they claim the other one, is unable to control their spending or is just really bad at finances. Me personally, I don't manage my household that way. If I get a new credit card or a new debit card or whatnot, my wife is always a secondary user, if not sometimes a primary user. But I get it. Not everybody runs their household like I do. But no, I wouldn't personally see it as normal to have your wife or homestay mom, doesn't matter, say, hey, can I use X amount of dollars? I think there should be some level of communication. My wife and I have that, where we say, hey, we want to make this substantial, large purchase. And what do you think? We'll have a discussion about it, run the numbers. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Number one thing I hate about being a stay-at-home mom. When people find out that I'm a stay-at-home mom, like from myself or from my husband, like if my husband tells another guy that, oh yeah, my wife, she's a stay-at-home mom, they'll be like, oh yeah, she couldn't be me. Oh, ain't couldn't be me. Or like sometimes if I tell a female like, oh yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I couldn't be me, I couldn't stay home. We know it couldn't be y'all. That's why it's not. Okay, Bookie? We know. That's okay. We know it couldn't be you. Number one thing I hate about being a stay-at-home mom. When people find...
Right, what's up? This is Erica. What the hell's going on here? Okay, let's talk about this, okay? Now, you don't know me, okay? I'm 50-year-old Erica, okay? I'm currently homeless and I live in a van, okay? We're going to talk a little bit about me because I used to be you. Oh, I used to be you and I was cocky with it too. I have a husband. My husband works. My husband provides. He this, he that. I don't have to worry about it. My kids have what they need. Fast forward, 50 and homeless. With a social security statement that barely gets $500 a month when I reach retirement age. Because I didn't earn enough in social security because I spent my best years being a stay-at-home mom. So that thing that we brag about being a stay-at-home mom, can and will destroy you when you get to your, 50s and 60s. So let me give you a bit of advice, okay? Not that you asked, but let me give it to you and for any of you other young buckaroos out there that's bragging about being a stay-at-home mom. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. Prance around, gloat that you're home all day and you can watch the soap operas and blah, 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 blah. But let me tell you something. You better work when you can. You better work as often as you can. As soon as your kids get of age to go to school, get your ass to work. If you can get a stay-at-home job and you work part-time, do it. Have your own money. Have your own bank account. Have your own money. Have your own resources. Have them. Do not rely and depend on your husband to be there for you in your latter years. Because after 24 years of marriage, my ex-husband, who I've had to divorce since then, got completely sick and unable to work. So me relying heavily on him all those years, and yes, I worked periodically throughout the years. I kept a job, here and there. I worked and stuff. But mostly, I was a stay-at-home mom because I liked being there for my children. So, while we're bragging about being a stay-at-home mom, We need to make sure that we have a bank account. You make sure that if he needs to find a way to give you an allowance, because there's no pay in that job, honey. Being a housekeeper, cleaning, scrubbing, mopping, doing toilets, cooking dinner, honey, those are paid jobs. And technically, you're doing them all for free. I did them all for free for 25 years. I did all of them for free for 25 years, and there was no pay. So please understand that the time to be working your ass off is in your youth, because you do not know what can happen when you get older. You do not know. And in my situation, I had a plan. I said, while I'm young, I'm going to stay at home and raise my kids. I will work if my husband loses his job. Hold on, guys. I had to pick back up again. Sorry. Okay. I had a plan. I said, I'm going to work. And if my husband loses his job, or, he's laid off or something like that, 9/11 or the crash of 2008, the real estate crisis, 2008, 2009, different things like that. I've always gone to work and made sure I worked, and I worked periodically a lot of times throughout the beginning of our marriage and stuff like that. So I had a plan. And I said, when I get older, I said, as soon as my girls get to high school or get to a certain age, around 13, 14, I'm going to go to college. This is what I told myself. I said, I'm going to go to college. I said, and I'm going to get my degree. Okay? I was going to get my law degree. You know what happened to me? 2011, I started getting sick. My whole world started spinning. Literally and figuratively. Everything around me started collapsing. Nothing has been the same since then. The college, it didn't work. Because I don't have the strength or the brain power or the concentration to even focus on college. I can't even stare at a textbook long enough to remember. My short-term memory is so bad because of some weird mystery illness that I came down with in my mid-30s. That was not a part of my plan. My plan was to go to college. So I'm telling any woman out there, you want to be a stay-at-home mom? Go ahead on. But don't get arrogant. Be grateful. Be grateful. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God, whatever you believe in, for allowing me this opportunity. But also understand that you are doing a bunch of jobs for free, and you're not being paid, and your social security statement is stagnant. And meanwhile, your husband is earning so much in his social security statement, and you're not earning anything. And so every year that goes by where you're not paying into any taxes, or you're not, filing any taxes or whatever, you're not bringing in any income, that is zero for that year. And when you read your social security statement and you find out that you're only going to get $600, $700, $800 when you retire at the age of 67 or 62 or whatever it is you retire, if you live that long, and your husband's going to get $2,500, you're going to feel like a fool. Which is exactly what happened to me. I looked at my social security statement and I said, what the hell? And I said, well, that stay-at-home mom. Me being a stay-at-home mom was the worst, stupidest, dumbest, retarded, fucked up thing I could have ever done to my fucking self. I shot myself in the fucking foot. I screwed myself. I regretted every fucking minute of every day. That is the one thing in my life I would change. If I could go back and change anything, it would be not to be a stay-at-home mom. I would never do it again. I would never do it again. The only way, in my opinion, that a woman should be a stay-at-home mother is if her husband is making ends meet and she has no needs, her kids have everything, and she's got a fat bank account on her own. And that, he can hire, your husband makes enough money to hire somebody to come in and do the cleaning. He can hire somebody to come in and do some cooking. You can have a nanny. That is the time I recommend that any woman stay at home ever, period. Other than that, you are a glorified housekeeper with no pay, who is required to perform physical duties, intimate duties, and do everything else. There is no pay for that. I would never advise any woman to do that unless there was a lot of money in it for her. I don't care about, I love my kids. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Because you are literally destroying your life and you're wasting your youth and giving your youth away to people who are probably, when they get older, are not going to appreciate you at all. You think my kids appreciate me for being a stay-at-home mom? I promise they don't. You think they give a shit that I'm living in this van? I promise you they don't. They don't care. So it's nothing to brag about unless you're, absolutely wealthy. If you're married to a wealthy man, you got you somebody who got good money, then you're doing good. But if you don't, and your husband got to go to work and and y'all ever struggle and you ever going through a tough time and, you wondering, baby, you did a horrible job. You didn't do good. You did not do good. All right, that's all I want to say. Leave your comments in the comment section and stay tuned for the next video.
Being a stay-at-home mum is a trap, and it could genuinely ruin your life. People on this app love to romanticize being a stay-at-home mum, but what you don't realize, if you're a stay-at-home mum for the wrong man, you could literally set yourself back years. Those of you who like to show off and brag, my man gives me 2 to 5k a month. How much do you think it costs for a nanny, for a cleaner, for a cook, for someone to organize, plan, like do absolutely everything, all the admin work? It will cost a lot more than 2 to 5 grand a month. Some men will resent paying you even if you have children together and you're raising the children, and that money that he's giving you will become a control tool. By the way, this money is not the reality for a lot of women. A lot of women are being stay-at-home mums or stay-at-home wives, girlfriends, whatever, for free. So while your man is going out there, making money, paying into his pension, saving, getting experience, building his career, you are building nothing. And then all of a sudden, years have gone by and you have a big gap in your CV, you have no money for yourself, you have no experience, and restarting your life again later on down the line will be so hard. And then on the other hand, on the other contrast, your husband, your partner would have all the years of experience, will have no gap in his CV. And of course, I'm not wishing no one's relationship to break down and not wishing no one to break up, but the reality is divorce is at all-time high and it's just getting worse. People are breaking up left, right and centre, and it's not even because of like cheating. People generally just fall out of love. Like, what happens if you just fall out of love with this man and you just decide that you guys are growing in different directions, you just don't want to be with this man in your life? You don't want to be tied down to somebody financially. If you want to be a stay-at-home mum, that is beautiful. Even I want to be a stay-at-home mother one day, but what I will not do, I will always have my own money, I will always have my own savings, my own career, I will have a backup plan. I will never be dependent on somebody. So if I ever wanted to leave, or if that guy ever left me, or if anything ever went wrong, I will be okay. I will be okay and I will have the power to walk away and be fine. A man does not want you because you're financially independent. You need to ask yourself why that threatens him.
I'm going to explain to you why being a stay-at-home girlfriend or stay-at-home wife is the dumbest thing you could do as a woman. I know it's currently glamorized on TikTok at the moment that it's amazing to have a provider man for you, looking after you, paying all the bills, and you can go to Pilates, drink your $7 matchas, and that's your existence for the rest of your days. However, here's a problem with this. If this man cheats on you, leaves you one day after 20 years of being married, finds the secretary more attractive than you and walks away from you, your entire existence is absolutely fucked. You as a woman have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And this is something I teach on my TikTok page. You have to be independent mentally, emotionally, financially, and physically. You have to be able to walk away from anything and anyone that does not serve you. Because one day, trust me, if the odds go against you, I don't wish this on anyone. I wish everybody to have a happy marriage. But life is fucking unpredictable. Be smart, play dumb, have your own income, and build your own life. Do not forget about yourself. Even when it comes to friendships, a lot of women give their friendships up. Womanhood is one of the most powerful things. And this is why a lot of women, once they have a baby, become very lonely because they never nurtured their female friendships and girlhood and womanhood while they were not pregnant, didn't have children, but they were head over heels for their men and they abandoned everything else. A lot of women neglect their own hobbies, their own purpose in life. Their entire mental, physical, and financial focus is on their husband. So one day when this man is not in their life anymore because God forbid something happened to him or he decided to cheat and run away with the secretary, that woman is fucked, okay? Because the entire existence of this woman is tied and ruled and overpowered by a man.
Being a divorce attorney taught me to never rely on a man financially, because when we're talking about going through a divorce, when we're calculating spousal support and child support, it's rarely ever enough to help you out in any significant way. And not to mention that the man is not going to be happy about giving you any money. Like, yes, he probably was sweet and loving before the marriage and during the marriage, but when people are breaking up, they are mean. There are a few exceptions where the man still gives the woman some money even before being court ordered to and really wanting to help her out. But there are a lot more people that are like, no, she doesn't deserve it. No, I'm quitting my job. I don't make any money. She's hiding money, blah, blah, blah. They'll say anything and everything to get out of paying child support, even the good men, even the good fathers. So while I see all of this stay-at-home mom content, I am always going to have me some type of money.
I see these warnings all the time, letting women know the dangers. And I just hope that they take heed of these warnings and they just proceed with caution. I do try my best to post every morning and every evening. If you like these type of topics, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Share it with anyone you would like to be part of this conversation. Let's continue it down in the comments. I'll see you guys in my next one.